All right, guys, welcome back. Bitcoin has been on an absolute tear. It is up over 38% on the month here in November. And right now you can see that we have made a very big push from 75 and we are currently sitting right below 100. And we're at that moment in the market cycle where about every 15 seconds I get a message from somebody saying, should I sell? Are you selling? What do I do? I'm having anxiety because price is up. And yes, looking at massive profits can be anxiety inducing. And so I figured I would record this video to send out to everybody to help you specifically figure out how to manage your trade or investment, whatever you want to call your Bitcoin position. And the beautiful thing is this also applies to any other trade. If it's in the stock market or a shitcoin or a meme coin or anything, this is a decision tree process that you can walk through that I call my no regrets risk management plan. Are you guys ready? Let's go ahead and do it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is pull up this decision tree, and this is going to help you manage your trade in a way that leaves you with no regrets, no matter what the market does. Because at the end of the day, most of what the market does is outside of our control, unless you're a pump and dumper trading micro cap shitcoins. But with that said, let's jump into it. So the big question that we start with is, should I sell? Okay, I've got a trade open. I'm in Bitcoin or for some reason Cardano or something like that. And you're like, hey, I wonder if I should sell right now. This could be at any moment in time. The first question that you want to ask yourself is, do I have a plan? What does a plan even mean? Well, a plan means, what was my reason to get into this thing? Or did I just buy because some person on Twitter or YouTube was shilling it to me? Do I know why I bought this? Do I have a strategy? Do I have profit targets? Do I have a stop or an exit price? A reason where, hey, if this thing goes against me, I'm going to get out at this price. Or am I just buying and hoping, right? If the answer is no, okay, then the next question is, well, do you want to hold this bag without a plan, right? Do you want to risk being a bag holder and taking up your mental capital and also possibly losing all of the capital that you've put into that? If you say, yeah, well, good luck. Go ahead and close out this video now because there's no help for you. But if you're like, yeah, I really want to figure out a plan and no, I'm not comfortable holding this, then you either close it right away or you reassess and you create a plan right now. Okay, so then we go back to the top. So congratulations, you have a plan, right? You know why you're in, you know what the trade setup is. And then what you want to do is you want to review your plan. And you say, okay, well, which capital bucket did I buy this in? If you've watched any of my prior videos, I talk about capital buckets all the time. I have my cold storage Bitcoin capital bucket where I buy Bitcoin, I stash it on a hardware wallet and I forget about it. I have cycle trades where I hold for multiple years at a time. I have swing trades, I have day trades, right? That is the capital bucket. Then what's the strategy name? Is this an accumulation range breakout? Is this a dip buy? Is this a breakout? What is the setup and the strategy? And then what's my entry trigger? Where did I get in and why? And what is my profit target and what is my stop zone? So an example of this is one of my largest trades of the year so far is MicroStrategy. This thing has been a banger of a trade. And this is again, how I plan my trades is I bought the breakout here right at $200. And then I had predefined profit targets and I scaled out along the way. So I closed half of the position here and I've taken more profit up at 500. So this has been, again, an incredible trade, and it's one of my favorite trade setups, which is why I'm using it as an example. But we're going to use that in this decision flow. Okay, so you have a plan, and you know what the plan is. You've reviewed it. Then the next question is, have I sized this position correctly? Is it big enough that if it goes to my target, it's going to be meaningful? Is it sized appropriately to where if it loses and it goes to my stop zone, that I truly accept the risk on that trade? If the answer is no, then you need to reassess and adjust your position sizing. If the answer is yes, congratulations, we can move on to the next part of the decision tree, which is, have I either hit a profit target or a stop zone? Okay. So if the answer is no, if you're just kind of in what I call no man's land, then you got to ask the next question, which is, well, is there a strong reason for a quote unquote graceful exit? And a graceful exit basically happens anytime you say, hey, I don't want to hold this trade or this investment or whatever, and I haven't hit my stop, I haven't hit a profit target, but there's some other reason that makes me want to go. I don't care if I'm profitable or underwater right now. I just want out of this damn thing. I want to jump off the boat, right? And a good reason for that could be, well, look, you just don't truly accept the risk. You're like, I don't understand what I'm doing, or holy shit, this scam coin is freaking me out. I just want to get out, right? Or the original reason that you took the trade is gone. It could be like a fundamental stock investment where you're like, hey, NVIDIA, all of a sudden they stopped selling GPUs or something, right? So something changed fundamentally that is like, well, the reason I got in to this trade in the first place is no longer valid. Or conditions changed. Something magically disappeared or changed. Or there's some kind of extreme price action where you're going, I don't know what's happening and I just want out. Now, if you take a graceful exit, and you say, yes, there are strong reasons, even though I'm not at a stop or a profit target, you have to exit that. If you decide to exit it, you exit it with no regrets and you say, I detach myself from the outcome. So if this thing goes on to hit my profit target, I can't be pissed about it. If it comes back to hit my stop, I can't be happy, because you are saying, I want out because I don't know what's happening, or I just no longer want to be on this ride. And you have to, again, the most important thing is detach yourself from the outcome. Now, if you look at that and you say, is there strong reasons for a graceful exit? No, we're in no man's land and my original trade thesis is still intact. Then you probably want to stay in the damn trade, right? Because you also want to remind yourself that price moves linearly. So it goes up and down, right? Price doesn't just go straight to your target. The market does, in a lot of cases, whatever it can to scare you out of a good trade. It happens all the time. So that's where you just back up. You say, hey, the most profitable thing to do in trading and investing is waiting. And so you trust your plan. Boom, there you go. So zooming back out, that's no man's land. Okay, have we hit a target or a stop zone? Yes, we've hit a stop zone. So, oh no, I was in a trade and the thing went against me, and I'm now at the point where I said I would sell this damn thing if it went against me. Well, the question is do you want a larger loss? Sometimes the answer might be yes. It's like, hey, something changed where I actually accept the additional risk on this, and I know it's going against me, but I actually want to double down on this thing. And you better have a damn good, strong reason why. So do I want a larger loss? Do I accept the risk of a larger loss? And you say, okay, let's make the adjustments to the size. Let's set a new stop price and move on, baby. Or if the answer is no, then you exit immediately. You say, we hit my stop. I lost my reasons for why I want to be in this trade in the first place. You get out immediately. Okay. I get a lot of people that hit me up and they're like, hey, Chris, I bought XYZ shitcoin last year and it's down 80%. Do I hold, or, do I hope for it to come back? Well, in that case, that means you didn't have a plan to begin with, right? So you would come back up here and you ask the question, do I want to hold without a plan? And you go through that. But hopefully by now, you guys that have been watching me in the crypto space for 11 years now, you know the importance of having a plan. And so if you've been watching me for a while, you're not going to get any slack from me because you should know better. Moving forward. Okay. Let's say we have hit a profit target. Congratulations. We made it. We hit a profit target. The next question is, do I want to hold for higher? And then you got to say, okay, well, I accept the risk. Like if we hit my first profit target and I see another profit target that I think we could get to, you have to think about what price action could do after this first profit target. And you have to accept the risk of price coming all the way back to your entry or your stop price to where you either break even or you even lose money. So if you say, do I want to hold for higher? Do I accept that risk of future price action? If the answer is no, congratulations, you hit your profit target, you close the entire position, and mentally, you accept any future missed gains. You are comfortable with that exit. You say, yep, I don't accept the future risk of any price action, and I know this thing could keep going up in my favor if it's a long. But again, I detach myself from that because I don't accept the risk. If the answer is like, yeah, I hit my profit target and I do accept the risk, I think this thing could go further, then you possibly do a partial close. You close a percentage of the trade. Typically, what I like to do is scale out. If I think it's going to go further, I scale out anywhere from a quarter to a third or a half of the position at my first profit target. And then I adjust my stop zone to where if price comes all the way back to my entry, I'm not going to lose on the trade. And then I set the new target. So an example of that is my MicroStrategy trade. Let me move myself down here a little bit. So whenever I took this trade, initially, I bought at 200 and I had a pretty small risk. I just set my risk below this prior pivot low, right? So I was risking about 15% on the trade. And then I had predefined these profit targets. I had the first target here around 250, then 350, and then 500. What I did is when we hit my first target, I said, I think we're still getting started here. I don't want to close anything. And I accept the risk if this thing comes all the way back down to my entry point. When we hit my second profit target here at 350, I said, okay, at this point, the way that I can have no regrets is I'm going to take 50% off the table. So I closed half the trade and I'm going to hold for 500. Yesterday, let's go down to an intraday chart. As soon as we tagged 500, I took another quarter off the table and I've got a quarter runner. So again, I was able to manage risk in a way that I took profit and I reduced the size of future potential losses, and I left myself open to more future potential profits. That's what I love about scaling out of a trade, is it gives you that flexibility. It doesn't have to be an all-in or an all-out thing. So guys, right now when you're out there and things are hot and people have all these emotions and all this anxiety around price action, don't look to somebody else to tell you what to do. You can certainly look at other experienced traders and investors to see what they're doing and hear their opinions. But at the end of the day, you have to follow your own plan because you are probably capitalized different from other people and you have a different risk tolerance and a different personality. So that's why this decision tree flow is so important, because if you follow this and you actually stick to your plan, then you're going to be able to manage your positions with no regrets. So guys, I hope that's helpful. If you want to learn how to basically plan a trade, come join us in the wealth building community. You can come into our live classes. You can see the boot camps, the in-person events, wealth retreats that we do. Come into our Discord channel. We've been doing this for over a decade now, and our average membership just crossed over 6 years. And we have hundreds and hundreds of self-reported millionaires, basically people that have told me like, hey, Chris, thanks to the community, I'm now a multimillionaire. So I love hearing these stories, and I just want to help you guys. Anybody out there that's either new or you've been doing this for a while, please trade with a plan, because if not, you're going to be a bag holder And, the markets show, the data shows that 90-something% of people lose money to a small percentage of consistently profitable folks. So again, I hope this is helpful. Like it up if you want to see more videos like this. Share it with somebody if you think they could get value from it. And I'll see you next time. Take care.